So here we go, welcome in to game number 4 between Guns N' Roaches and Team Anarchy. This is our first platinum level game of the match. Guns N' Roaches currently lead 3-0, and the player on the trailing team in the top right hand corner, he's playing Zerg in the orange. Of course not his team color, but he's playing for Team Anarchy. Can he give his team a point and keep Anarchy alive for this week? It is ULC. If you can kind of see it through the... There we go, ULC. Yeah. And spawning down in the bottom right-hand corner, this is GSL Entombed Valley is the map. He's wearing purple, which I guess is actually one of his team colors, but it's still not the right one. He's the Protoss player, Khaydarin, named after the amulet that was taken from us horribly. Actually, pretty happy about that, being a Terran player. Khaydarin amulet OP. Instant storms. Anyway, they're talking about the GSL version. If you're wondering about the GSL version of this map, it's not cross only. Your opponent can't spawn horizontal to you. He can spawn vertical, however, which is actually what we see. And Khaydarin going to go very traditional. 13 forge at the bottom of the ramp. Occasionally you will see like 15 forge if they're really wondering about that. But scouting cross map first. Actually, it's not good job by Khaydarin. He is checking the watchtower, although you don't really need to check the watchtower against Zerg as much. The chances of him proxying something in the middle of the map right now are very, very, very non-existent. But it's kind of a risky drone or probe scout actually by Khaydarin. Scouting after the forge means that if he got in here and saw 6 pool, that pool would already be done. The Zerg would be on the way, and he doesn't have a whole lot of response time to deal with that. But he does peek in, he spots the pool about 3/4 of the way done, so he's not going to worry too much. He wanted to get down, block the hatchery, but ULC able to sneak that drone down there and able to plop down his hatchery. So that's I believe that's a 14 pool into 17 hatchery from ULC, if you're really curious about the builder. Khaydarin, meanwhile, going Forge, Nexus, and then we'll see the cannon. Or Gateway. Gateway! This is kind of a weird wall in because it's actually not... I believe he'll put the cannon, yeah, right there where his probe is, and then the probe comes over here between the gateway and the pylon if he needs a wall in. So anyway, PvZ, probably my favorite matchup to watch, but I don't play it very often. So some of my insights might not be as good. I'm just going to check and make sure that I'm not muted, just because I'm paranoid. Perfect! Everything's fantastic. Everything is wonderful in the world. Well, you see the double-cast follow-up from Khaydarin. This is something that we saw last week in a lot of Paybacks games. And we'll see if it's a similar 3-gate robo opening from our Protoss player. Cybernetics core coming down. This is kind of a weird spot for the Cybernetics core, but regardless, effective. ULC, meanwhile, has his natural finish, going up to a couple of queens. Throwing down, this is a rather early distractor, and actually forgoing the third base, and we actually see Khaydarin very alertly has his probe stashed over here just to check for that third. So this could be some sort of 2-base timing from ULC. Of course, we haven't hit the late point for the third base, so this just could be more of a personal preference thing, just to delay that third base a little bit more, get out these couple of queens, and things like that. So up to 3 queens now, as you will see. Those are the only units out currently for him. And we do see Zerglings checking around the map, trying to figure out where his opponents spawn. If we look at the scouting information, you see it's pretty non-existent. Khaydarin throws down his tech of choice. It is the robotics facility back in the main base. And warp gate research on the way. 30 seconds gone by in that. And he's spending his chrono boost on probes, so he's really focused on getting up a good, strong economy. Sentry on the way as well, going to be the second unit. Tend to see a stop, but it's not mandatory, of course, in PvZ. Zerglings come up, they'll scout the front, and killed for their trouble. Second photon cannon actually on the way from Khaydarin, which I actually really like, given he still hasn't seen that third base up from ULC. ULC, meanwhile, looks like he just wants to saturate 2 bases. Not in a hurry to take that third. It's a little more difficult to take on this map just because you do have destructible rocks blocking that, and that opens up possibilities for the Protoss to just bounce around from your third to your natural if you haven't taken out these rocks, and it's very, very difficult to defend that way. We see Overlords getting into better positions just across the map. Those are really the only units out on the map currently. It's kind of a boring opener. We see 3 more gateways added on. This is 4 gates in a robotics facility, which will lend itself a little bit more to aggression than a 3-gate robo would. But we see Khaydarin still spending probes on probes right now, and it's really paying off for him. 45 drones to 39 probes. Really nice spot to be in for the Protoss player right now. He has his observer out, so he'll be able to see exactly what's going on. Khaydarin throws down his Roach Warren as well as his lair is about halfway done. He does have an Evo chamber as well, and we'll see where he wants to go from here. Right now, the scouting information is still a little incomplete, but he still knows that there's no third base over there. So throwing down more and more cannons at his front. Khaydarin playing very defensively, up to 4 cannons now. And I actually like this play a lot. ULC throwing down a macro hatch now, and we see the money getting a little bit out of control, especially for Platinum players. This is pretty high for both players. And we do see the Nidus Canal that's spotted immediately by the observer, and this is a really interesting build. I'll just say that from Khaydarin, or from ULC, excuse me. Infestation Pit on the way as well. And this is going to be like a Roachling Infester Nidus all in. But I think the goal is really just to kind of circumvent these cannons and get all the units back into the main where they can fight better. This Overlord in perfect position, he can hide the Nidus. We can see this is a nice spot, and there's no vision right now. Oh, he does spot the Nidus Worm. Will he be able to take it down? That's actually cancelled. Why is it cancelled? Khaydarin, meanwhile, doing a little bit of shenanigans of his own, hiding a pylon over here by the third base. Third base is playing it out and in full vision of ULC. The Nidus Worm, it looks like, might have been spotted by Khaydarin as he gets a stalker over here just to check everything out. But yeah, the macro hatchery is up now. He's going for a second layer, which I like, just not this early. If we look right now, Khaydarin has a huge supply. Did I just miss something? No. Takes out a probe very quickly and cancels the third base. This is very strange. What happened there? Did he stop playing? Huh. Regardless, we see Khaydarin with an 88 supply to 68 of his opponent. His Nidus blew up. That actually is really weird. What happened to his Nidus? Anyway, cannons down here at the third base, taking down the third. This is actually bizarre. Nice trap on the roaches there by Khaydarin. Yeah, that's very, very strange. I might want to go back and look at that. That's really interesting. Anyway, the move out now from Khaydarin, 100 supply to 74 currently. If we look, army supply is 52 to 36. This will be very, very difficult to hold by for ULC. He's trying to bait out force fields with his Zerglings, and it looks like he does want to go for a run-by, perhaps. He will engage now, trying to take out these sentries. A little bit of a sandwich here. Nice force fields, though, from Khaydarin. And he still has more available to him. So these Zerglings not too effective against those force fields. More and more Zerglings on the way. He'll be up to 50 more of those. And, yeah, something weird definitely did happen in this game. Anyway, the Nidus Warp re-finished. We do see he's trying to plant down another one in the main. It isn't really spotted by ULC. Loading up the Zerglings, it looks like we may have a base trade on our hands. I think this definitely favor the Protoss play, though. All these signs being thrown down to try and delay everything. There's the Nidus finishing up, Zerglings spilling into the main. The real problem is going to be these cannons over here in the third. He doesn't quite have a way to deal with those just yet. He needs to evacuate the drones immediately. We do see force fields have gone down on the rim. A couple of these Protoss units falling, although not too many. Macro hatch gets taken down. More drones falling as well. We look, 16 were killed to 4. With production buildings going down, but now the Zealot warp in, doing a lot of damage. We see the upgrade 0, 0 to 0, 0. So these Zealots not the most effective, but they are doing a very good job against these Zerglings, and this is all actually going to be cleaned up. More Zerglings have been loaded into the Nidus Worm, but they're not actually going to be able to make it. And now the Protoss army up into the main, tearing apart the second layer, I suppose. The Zealots kill the first layer. The second layer going down, 110 supply to 16. And the question on everyone's mind being asked by ULC. 106 supply to 11. And this game basically over. Khaydarin has secured victory. ULC looking for answers. He did cancel the Nidus Worm, but I have no idea what happened to the actual Nidus network. So anyway, a really well played game by Khaydarin, but something a little bit weird I think happened with ULC. I'm actually gonna, after this game finally finishes, we're gonna speed up because this is just the last of the... And yep, he got eliminated. So, Khaydarin takes game number 4 for Guns N' Roaches. We're actually going to look back in the replay and see what happened to that Nidus Canal. Looks like a little bit further back than that. Okay, so we're back a little bit too far, so we'll just speed through this part. Let's see what happened. There's the layer on the way. And he's keeping up in macro very nicely so far. Let's find out what happened to the Nidus network. Here comes the Nidus network. Oh dear. So he A-clicked his Nidus network rather than... Oh dear. So the A-click of the Nidus Canal, rather than loading his units into it, he managed to kill his own Nidus Canal. Oh, that's a rough way to lose a game. I'm not saying he would have won if that Nidus Canal had gotten up, but it would have been a much better game because of it. So, the A move onto the Nidus Canal costing ULC the game, unfortunately. Khaydarin takes game number 4, and Guns N' Roaches secures victory for the week. So they will improve to 2-2. Team Anarchy falls to 1-3. We still have 4 more games though, and Anarchy can actually tie the series in points, possibly, and bring back an even map score despite the weak loss. So let's stay tuned. We will have every game from the series casted for you. So please stay tuned. We'll have game number 5 coming up next. It'll be the second Silver League game between Team Guns N' Roaches and Team Anarchy. Don't go anywhere. You're watching CTL casted by Maristematic.